says, we're going live. It says we're here. I forgot how all of this works.
What?
A week and a half later. I don't know how any of it works, clearly. Yeah, no clue what we're doing here. We're doing it, whatever it is.
Whatever it is, we're sitting here. And
but I don't know what it is or how it is.
Okay.
Or even why it is.
Why ask
and
why?
certainly not who it is. Or how it is. Look, can I remember the 5 W's or whatever it is from what am I trying to call it? English classes a million years ago. Who, what, when, where, why, how.
Sometimes how, no?
No, how is in there. It's
yeah.
5. It's the 5 W's, but then of course that was way oversimplified because there's how. Our existence has been validated. Thank you. So I'm gonna have to try and remember how we do this. Hello.
Hi.
Kayla Lords.
John Brownstone.
Of Loving BDSM, where we help kinksters like you have happy, healthy power exchange relationships. This is our monthly Friday night live stream, virtual Munch. In about 30 minutes from the start time of this stream, it will also be a kinky Q&A. We are here 30 minutes earlier than usual for reasons, which we will tell you in a little bit. There is no fast forwarding through the idle chit chat. The whole thing is idle chit chat. If you usually fast forward through our idle chit chat, this one won't be the one for you. Unless you just need people talking in the background so you can get other stuff done. I totally get that.
Right.
I'm happy to be your body double. It's fine. Look, I do it for the 15-year-olds so that they can, do school. It's fine. It's fine.
Right.
When we were both frantically cleaning the house before my mother came to visit, we were each doing our own thing, but knowing you were doing your part kind of made it easier for me to do my part. I think that's a version of body doubling. I don't actually know.
Yeah, same.
So I'm going to say hello to folks.
Okay.
I have to figure out how all this works again. Okay. Hi, Tayshu. Hi, Silent. Hi, Kim. Hi, Julie. Hi, Mr. Spock. Hi, Ben. Hi, Aaron. I'm scrolling. Okay, I think I got to the bottom. Yay!
Right.
Yeah, we're here 30 minutes early. It feels weird to be here at all after
and
a
why
week.
are we here 30 minutes early?
Are we ready to? Do we want to give folks time to ease in before we dash all hopes, crash, some things, devastate others?
I say just rip that bandage off.
That's how we know you're the sadist. That's how we know you're the sadist. Because you want to rip Band-Aids off. So, it's for kind of a good reason, because also if the other thing that's happening for you next week were to happen, you wouldn't be able to anyway. Anyway, we will not be streaming next week. We're losing an entire recording day, 3 days really, if you think about it, because our kitchen floors are finally getting done, and JB got called for jury duty, which sometimes you don't have to go. We'll find out on Sunday if you even have to go. And sometimes you go for the first day and you're out of there at some point. So we don't even know if jury duty will impact Wednesday, but we do know the floor guy will, because the floor guy is coming on Monday to do floor things.
Yes, he is.
So, yeah. Yeah, so, and we haven't really talked about it. I don't think we're going to just record anything. I can tell you we have the last week's Monday episode will be out this coming Monday. So.
A very good chance we're not going to have one next week.
There's a good chance we will.
Yeah. But, yeah, it'll be nice to have the floors done.
We will have kitchen floors that are not grotesque looking. And did we go through how many samples? 5 tile samples.
At least.
And then got my mother in, because she was in for the week. That's why we were gone this past week, to give her opinion, of which both of us disagreed with it until we both agreed with it. I don't know what magic she did there.
Yeah.
We went from, no, I don't think so, to, well.
The Silent asked, what kind of floor?
Tile.
Well,
yep. we have hardwood floor throughout most of the house.
3/4 of the house.
The main living areas, basically. Including our kitchen. So when the dishwasher failed. Well, meh. So we're going with tile.
Mm-hmm.
I found this beautiful, beautiful high gloss, shiny, slippery tile. It's beautiful. And even trying to stand on the sample, I almost busted my ass. So that one was not for us. Because
No, it was not.
I would have been in the hospital trying to
Yeah.
where I'm not
And
graceful.
The weird thing is, me, I was fine. I walked over it and
You did just fine.
did just fine.
The tile we ended up choosing is not a glossy, slippery one, but it's not. And I only know this because the rental house we had before we bought this house, moved in, our landlord was like not apparently evil. He was fine. But when he is the one who redid the house so that he could rent it out, and of course everything he did was millennial gray, which is not my favorite, and the cheapest shit. So we had tile throughout that house, but it was really rough. Like it was just I didn't like cleaning it, and I didn't like standing on it. So I was like, no, we have to find like we have to be the Goldilocks of finding the tile. It has to be just right.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So
and you know, yeah, it is kind of strange, you know, the hardwood in the kitchen,
right where things are wet.
but the houses around here, that's what they've done. When I was in across the street,
Theirs is like that too.
they have the same floor as us, and it's through the whole and into the kitchen. Only difference is they have a galley kitchen.
I'm glad we don't have a galley kitchen. We've
Yeah.
had that before. I'm glad we don't now. No, yeah, and who was it? Silent said that's like having carpet in the bathroom. It is,
Yeah, it is.
And we had to rip that out. Didn't we rip that out? Or
In the condo.
yeah.
In the condo,
when we bought the condo.
The condo had wallpaper and carpet.
Wallpaper from the 80s, and I think the carpet was from the 80s. So, yeah. We dithered for way too long on dealing with the floors,
Yeah.
and then I got impatient, and JB let me be impatient, and so we went to a flooring place here in town. Actually, the people who put the carpet in our house before we moved in, and it was settled. And then they tried to warn us, like, okay, our installers are like working a month out right now. And we're like,
Yeah.
okay, you know, at least we will have purchased our tile and we will be on the books or whatever. Dude comes out on what? Yesterday to say, oh yeah, I could do this, and I could probably do this starting Monday. We were like,
and his price was right.
yeah, for having to rip up glued down
Wood floor.
40 plus year hardwood floor to then lay tile. Yeah, that was a good price. So yeah, no, I'm glad it's gonna be done. I'm glad the chaos will happen while I'm in the frame of mind to accept the chaos. If we had gotten comfortable and like several weeks had gone by and I'd even forgotten we were doing it, and then it was like, hello, we're here for the chaos, I don't know how I could have handled it. But everybody in this house who cannot handle change well is we're all working with one another to brace ourselves for the change. You know, not gonna lie, the we have to eat out every meal for at least 2 days is actually, I consider that a bonus. I'll be tired of eating out by the third day, and when I say eating out, y'all, we're cheap.
We have
got coupons, and my app gives me discounts on depending on the place. I'll get like 20% off at McDonald's. I don't want to eat McDonald's for 3 meals a day. That would suck.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and Kim, yes,
we're doing it on a budget.
They glued it down. Apparently, when this house was built in the early 80s, that's the way they did it. And I don't know if it's a real wood thing.
It's one way that they did it. There was the tongue and groove way, or there was the glue down way.
Yeah, it's definitely glued.
It's the glue down.
Yeah, because they asked if it was glued or was a floating floor, and I was like, it's not no floating floor. I can tell you that.
That's glued hard, yeah. So, the part I'm dreading of the whole thing is that once the floor guy does what floor guy does, we have to put molding up.
Yeah.
And it's not a huge kitchen. It's not a lot of space. It's not the whole house like we did when we did it for the whole ass condo.
Right.
all those years ago, which I'm grateful for. But I was seriously Googling earlier, like, can I hire somebody who'll just put in the molding for us?
That we can do. I've got the gun and
I know you do, but
got the saw.
we have to be on the floor. Lola will be very curious.
She will.
It's fine.
They're going to be very curious anyway because they're not going to be eating in their normal spot for a few days.
No, and you and I are going to have to figure out how you want how the best way to contain Lola if you are indeed on jury duty, at least on Monday.
Yeah, that's going to be.
We did not think about that. We did not think about that at all.
I put it out of mind.
You are in denial about the
I
whole
am.
thing. I have to keep reminding you that you have to call on
And
Sunday.
every time you do, what do?
You're like, oh yeah, no. So yeah, so next week will be much like this week, except no Friday night live stream.
Yeah.
So visit with my mom went well. I love my mom. I love my mom dearly. We did not have a perfect relationship when I was younger, but I love her dearly. But also, I'm good when the visit's over.
Yeah.
You actually got to witness what the emotional tension between the sisters does to me, because I was a shell of a human for a couple of days there.
You were. Yeah, you were.
It's a little bit like I almost wish they would just have the screaming, raging, crying fight they need
Roll
to.
around on the floor and,
It's been building for 60 years kind of thing. Or I wish they'd go to therapy. Not necessarily together, just go. Work through your demons, But yeah, I don't think anybody ever expected me to or made me feel like I had to, but being the person I am, from adulthood, I was not like this as a kid at all, but once I became very well aware of the tensions that can occur in my very small family, I've been trying to play peacekeeper, Part of it is because I do see both. I'm banging into chords. I see both sides of the reason that they kind of annoy the shit out of each other, but also they're holding on to hurts that are from like literally 50 years ago. Some are from 20 years ago. Some are from probably 2 years ago. Hell, I don't know. I see each of their individual sides, but they can't see each other.
Others, no.
Oh my gosh.
Nope.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So yeah, it's everybody's really nice to one another. Everybody gets along in that way that some of us just can seem to get along with everybody. And I'm in the background, like my energy is being drained from me. Like somebody's a vampire in the room we're in the car. I don't know, but I am wilting. I can't handle it. No, yeah. So I'm just happy to spend the time with everybody. So grateful to get our life and routine back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually took more advantage of the, hey, I'm not going to do any actual work while the visit's happening, which made my mom left like 6 a.m. on Thursday to drive back to Mississippi. Made working on Thursday and Friday very difficult. I was like, no, I don't want to do this. I want to do other things.
I've done the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying to be better about actually taking time off.
Yeah.
And actually resting.
Trying to how do they say it? We touch the grass.
No, I don't know. I don't know what that. I don't
touch the grass.
We touched grass.
Yeah.
It sounded like you said we tucked the grass. I'm like, no, I don't know that one. And it's usually said as in go touch grass, as in.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, but it's not usually said in like an endearing, encouraging way.
Well.
The amount of time that we have spent on the internet, it's still an accurate statement for somebody to make to us. We really do need to go touch grass. Oh my god. But yeah, we have what's the word? We're doing rain check for my Mother's Day because on Mother's Day, we were all together, but it wasn't like a special thing. And I want what I think, not all, because I can't speak for all mothers out there, but stereotypically some of us seem to want, which is just a day where we don't have to do anything for anybody anywhere. And that wasn't going to work on a day when we were visiting family and spending time. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know how long ago it is we did the episode on decision fatigue, but I was telling JB today, I'm like, no, I'm deep in it. I need to not have to make any decisions. And I know that sounds weird coming from the submissive in the relationship, but I still make a lot of decisions. Or I have to come up with what the choices are, present them, and give my opinion. I'm just like, so I even told JB, I was like, when we do the rain check for Mother's Day, I don't really care when, it don't matter to me. You know me. So, do we want to do a meal out or cook something special? I don't care. You know what I like. You know what I hate. I don't care. Feel free to ask questions. Make sure you have my consent on something. Sure. But beyond that, I don't care. Don't ask me what I want, because that's just more thinking that I have to do. Now, here's what's funny. To actually wrap it around to actual power exchange, we are, I think, planning-ish one of our experiments, the reconnecting in our power exchange, around that whole kind of concept of, I would like to be just vibes, no thoughts. Just tell me what we're doing. I will follow like the duckling I would like to be. So, the Q&A starts at 9:30, 15-ish minutes. So, yeah. But, so that's a future. Once we get it all negotiated and figure out what we want to do for the, we're going to lean into Daddy Dom, Baby Girl for a hot minute. That'll be an episode at some point once we get it all negotiated. So, what else?
What else?
You got your lawnmower, zhuzhed up.
I did.
And it was cheaper than we thought it was going to be, and faster than we thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. That was nice. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was. That was a very pleasant surprise. Mm-hmm. But it kind of shows I take care of it. Mm-hmm. First pull, that thing, we've had that now since we bought it when we moved in here.
Yeah, we bought it used. It was refurbished.
Bought it used.
Yeah. From the same place that maintains it for us.
Still starts first pull every time.
As it should.
Yeah.
As it should.
Mm-hmm.
As it should. We're kind of boring. Lola is good. She's snoring she just got off a double shift. And her ears are mostly down, so she's really out.
She's really out, yeah.
Yeah. Ella and Onyx have been whiny bitches, but we love them. We love them.
Especially.
Yeah, I mean, she always starts reminding us in case we somehow forget.
2 hours.
2 hours before mealtime. But lately, that hour before mealtime, she just cranks up the grating sound of her meowing. We've never once forgotten to feed her, but she's pretty convinced every day that'll be the day we forget, even though we've never fucking forgot. So.
And, yeah, today I was, late. This afternoon I was trying to lay down a little bit, and, I usually don't shut the bedroom door when I take a nap like that, but she was in the doorway, and I was just drifting off to sleep, and she started her yowling.
And there's something about it. There's her typical, oh no, it's 2 hours till it's time to eat, don't forget me. There's that, and then there's something that's just grating about what was happening today. Mm-hmm. So JB slams the door closed, except I did not know that's what he was doing, and I have been accused in the past of not coming running fast enough when there are unknown loud noises happening. So I jump up, run out of the office like my ass is on fire, can't see anything that's fallen over, because that's what it sounded like to me. I open the bedroom door thinking, what has gone on in here? all I get is JB going, shut the damn door. And I'm like, okay. So then I go in the garage. I'm like, because I knew he was trying to sleep, so I wasn't trying to get him into a conversation of what the fuck just happened. I was like, I'll figure it out.
She did not know about Ella.
I mean, I knew about Ella. I could hear her. She was coming in here, too. I just didn't know she had...
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I guess if he's not he didn't fall down, so I guess it's fine, whatever that noise was. That's okay. I was working out in the garage one day pouring resin, and there was this, like, banging sound coming from clearly inside the house. And I knew JB was in the house, and I'm like, he was taking a shower, and I'm like, oh my God, is he banging on the wall, desperate for help? Like, what is going on? Did he fall? Like, I mean, anybody can fall at any point, but JB's not exactly known for falling. I don't know why my brain keeps going there. So I've got my hands up like I'm a damn surgeon because I've just been touching resin everywhere. I'm trying to get it cleaned up enough I can run through the door. Come to find out, he was closing the shower door.
The shower door, every once in a while, needs to be snugged down, and it slowly creeps open. So what she was hearing, because it's the wall that faces the garage, it's the garage wall. So every time I pushed it back closed, when I was in there showering, she'd hear it thump on the wall.
I don't think you know your own strength. I would never say our walls are super thin, but...
Well, maybe not, I guess. Whatever.
You know what, though? You know what? This is clearly how easily trainable I am, because you want to know what makes me go, oh my gosh, I have to run. One time in this house, JB went, you didn't hear me? I could have fallen out. You didn't even come look. That, coupled with the time in the condo when he really did hurt himself, but I had to stay by the door until I found out if there was blood or not. There was none, and I could come into the garage without passing out or puking. But yeah, the one time I got accused of not caring that there were banging noises. Okay, I do care. I'm trying to be more aware of my surroundings, but every time I go running, he is the boy who cried wolf. One of these days I'm going to be like, oh, he was just closing the shower door, and he's going to be falled out somewhere. Silent, the shower banging door thing, the first time I heard it, I didn't really go running. I was like, is he having a moment in the shower and it's just banging on the wall? Because it's so good. I did hesitate, but once you heard it a few times, like, oh shit, that's him calling me because he's fallen and he can't get up. I don't know.
I'd be banging in Morse code.
No, don't do that. I won't know what I'm hearing. Because I know what he does in the shower when I'm not there. It's usually hanging up to dry on the edge of something in the shower. And I know how he gets when it gets good. So. It's okay. Somebody found a gift card lurking in their email, got themselves a little something. Yeah. It comes in the mail. Next thing I know, JB walks up to me, grabs my hand, and he can. We're like this. He grabs my hand, smacks it down on his crotch, and I'm like, what? I mean, I will if you want. I don't care. And then I like, oh, your toy. Okay, have a good time. Yes, Silent. Yeah. Something like that. It's hitting that right spot is what's key there. No, it's more like he bangs on it, like that whole, oh, it's so good. Not that the leg shakes and then no. Anyway. I mean, there were a couple times, I don't think it's happened in this house, maybe it has, where we were joking. I was like, you need to put a sock on the fucking door, because I'll bust in like Kool-Aid Man into my own bedroom. And see, look, if I was
I'm having a moment.
Right. If I was a voyeur, that'd be hot. If he was an exhibitionist, that would be hot. We are the opposite. He don't really want to be watched, and I don't want to watch. If I'm not part of it, I'm not interested. So, yeah. My favorite is look, here's how I can tell something's going down if I'm sitting here working. We have the window between our bedroom and this part of the office used to be the outside, so it's an exterior window, and we keep it up a lot for letting the cat back and forth, airflow, whatever. But if I'm sitting at my desk and it's like a random 3:30 on a Tuesday and JB mostly closes the window, I'm like, oh, he don't want to be heard for whatever is about to happen. Okay. Yeah, Kim, I think JB is blushing. Man put his balls on the internet multiple times, but talking about it's got him just all a twitter, all a flutter. We're back. What are you gonna do?
Oh man.
Yeah, you're adorable when you blush. You just are. You're usually like Mr. Cool, calm, cool, and collected. So if we can get you it's adorable. It's not even it's old news when it happens to me. It's sort of like people just say shit because they know I'm gonna have that kind of reaction. I am not known for being like stoic in the face of whatever. So.
Julie, you're right. She is. She's giving away all my, selling me out.
Mm-hmm. I've been doing that since when did we get on the internet together as a couple? Before 2015, because I think I've been putting you on the internet
blog
in other ways since before the podcast. So, I mean, I'm the one that made it so that I don't know if it's still true. It was true several years ago. If you Googled John Brownstone, he came up because I just kind of branded you that way, and then
you did. that
is what I didn't call you JB at the time, and oh god, I had to spend a fucking week calling him John, and I was like, ugh. It's awful. I slipped and called you. Was speaking to my mom and referred to you as JB, and then corrected myself real quick. Yeah, a week of it. Because look, even when you weren't with us and you were off doing your own thing and I was with a sister or the sisters plural, you are part of the conversation. And not because I'm bringing you up. I'm sitting in the backseat of a car trying to survive, okay? I find a chair in the corner of not my living room and I just try to survive. But you are beloved in this family probably more than I am. And I used to be the baby, okay?
Well, I was thinking, I found it kind of funny because so often your mother asks me to drive. Mm-hmm. And she didn't this time.
No, she didn't even let me drive when we went to go see the 19-year-old.
Oh, wow.
I did not mind. I was like, she's going to be worse if I drive. She's going to be, just like I do to you, she's going to be questioning every mile down the road. I was like, if you want to drive, I do not care. But if you are tired and would like to take the break, I will drive. She's like, no, I got it. Cuckoo. No, there's a lot of when you're not around. I'm gonna say JB, but just know they said his actual name. Well, what does JB think of this? What is JB? I'm like, you could just ask him. He's in the same chat group hell that I'm in with you. He's right there. He's right there. Just ask him. You don't need me to ask him. He's right. Just shoot a text. I'll let him know he needs to go read it.
I just never jump in.
At this point, neither do I, unless they're directly addressing me, or I know that it's a bad look if I do not respond to something important.
What I found hilarious, and I find hilarious every time she visits, 3 of the people in that group chat at that point are in the same house.
Yep, because my mom stays with my aunt and uncle.
Mm-hmm.
My uncle's in the group chat too.
They are in the same house together. Every morning.
From the same fucking house,
From
y'all.
the same house. In the group chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
And see, once I was listening to my aunt and uncle talk about like their morning routine, what time they wake up. Sometimes 2 of those people were in the same room sending the good morning. I don't do the good morning text. My thing is, and I know this either does or does not track given what we do here and how I just can go on for like 2 hours. I am not sending a text if I don't have anything to fucking say, and or I don't want to start a conversation. You can't ever know which morning it is that your good morning will lead to like 85 text messages later. I don't have that kind of fucking time. I do not care. So I don't respond. I truly do not respond to text messages unless I actually have something to say. But emoji reactions are acceptable. Like when my mother texted the group chat to go, I made it home safe and sound. I hearted that, so she knew I saw it.
I did as well.
That was because if I want to talk to my mom, I'm texting her directly, which is what I did like the whole time. Not the whole time. Every once in a while, the whole group needed to know. Like, were we on our way? Everybody needed to know that, right? But if I want to talk to my mother, I'm talking to my mother, like just the 2 of us. I'm not saying anything special, but I'm just no. I don't like group chats. I don't like them. It's too many. There's too many dynamics of people, and it's like. So first I have to make sure I word things so everybody in the group understands what I'm saying and nobody gets their feelings hurt. And then if I'm trying to talk to one individual, I have to make sure that I don't like it. I don't like it. Which is why technically I have a group chat with the kids, but they know I do not expect a response. I'm sending them shit that made me laugh, and I think it's going to make them go, oh my God, my mother is crazy. Or they're going to go, yes, that's correct, with my laughter or my whatever. But they know I don't expect a response. So my poor mother has her grandchildren in a group chat, tells them good morning every day, and apparently they almost never respond. So when she comes on her twice-a-year visit, she's like, do you get my text in the morning? They're like, yeah, we get it. I said, and see, she doesn't know the question to ask. I was like, would it feel weird if your grandma stopped sending that good morning text? Yeah, it would feel weird. Okay, don't stop doing it. Just don't expect a fucking response. They're genetically clearly my children. Oh my gosh. Oh God, Kim, that's the pressure, the pressure to have to pay attention. Sometimes I just like to disappear and like not be perceived by anybody. So anyway, it is 9:30. So normally we do this at 10, but we started 30 minutes early. So this part I'll start 30 minutes early. We are in our Q&A section. We will keep being chaotic. We will keep being chatty, but in between, if you have a question, feel free to ask. Here is what you need to know about asking a question. 1, when you type out your question, it needs to fit within whatever the character limit is in a single message on YouTube live chat, okay? Anything longer than that, this really kind of isn't the venue for that. Feel free to use our contact page. Link in the places. 2, when you do your question, tag us. Type @LovingBDSM. It should like autofill or whatever. That way it lights up for us so we can see that you asked your question. And 3, if you think we're taking too long to get to your question, please be patient and do not spam the live chat. Our lovely moderators will put you in a timeout with our blessing. Okay? So, you can ask us about...
time.
Sure. I've heard your Daddy Dom voice, not even directed at me, a couple of times recently. And the corner time was the vibe. I'll have to remind you of something that I bet you forgot about. Anyway,
oh dear.
So you can ask about us. You can ask about something kink related in general. You can ask about like a situation you're in, whatever. If you got a question, feel free. Okay, so present day me was very disappointed in past me, who could have edited the Monday episode and had it post last Monday, and then could have taken today mostly off. Like the whole afternoon I could have had off. But past me sucked. So what it meant though is I had here's how bad the memory is. Especially for content, because my God, over the years we've put out so much, I can't hold it all in my head. I had already forgotten what the topic of what is now this coming Monday's episode should have been last Monday's episode. I'd forgotten what we said. I'd forgotten what happened during recording. And then I needed to edit the video. That's why I was mad at Past Me, who should have fucking done this shit last Friday. But whatever, it's fine. And then, first of all, there's a whole section where Lola is in the living room. We are here in this office where you see us now, recording. And she starts howling, crying, and a-wooing.
Yep.
And JB goes... He gets this look on his face. I almost put it in at the end as a blooper, but I was like, oh, that's effort. I don't want to. Gets this look on his face. He's very annoyed. He goes into the living room where Lola is crying like she's been abandoned. And we don't know exactly what happens, but you can hear it. He claps his hands at her like real sharp. She stops. He comes in. He sits down and he's glaring at me. He goes, oh, she got corner time for that. Corner time is she has to go into her crate. And we had to sit there for like a good 5 to 10 seconds so JB could stop frowning so hard before we started recording again. And I was like, oh my God, I forgot that even happened. It was delightful. Okay. Kim has a question.
Mm-hmm.
Random question that has bothered me for weeks. What is the name of the red book on the shelf with the wax, the trade paperback? I think there's 2 red. Okay, let me see what we got. Yeah, I've got 3 red books on this on this shelf. So hold that thought.
Jeez, you're shaking the whole table here.
Well, I'm a big old girl. I don't know what to tell you. I've got these 2 red books. And I have this red book. Okay, so one is Courtney Milan, The Duke Who Didn't. I bought it a couple years ago. It was good. Courtney Milan's a great writer. This was a really good. It was romance. I don't remember it being super crazy spicy, but yeah, it's a historical romance. It was good. The Duke Who Didn't. There's that. Then there's Beverly Jenkins, who is really good, and I want more of her books. This one, was good, but it also, am I thinking of the right one? It wrecked me. No, this one was not terrible. I mean, they were all good, but this one was not the one that wrecked me. No, but this was Through the Storm. That was good, too. That was very good. And then I bought it, and I haven't read it.
Which one?
It's called Start With Why by Simon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, is it Sinek? I don't know how to say his last name. I've seen him on Instagram, little clips of stuff. I don't remember why. The title is Start With Why, How Great Leaders Inspire Everyone to Take Action. I don't know why I wanted it when we finally got bookshelves and I could just buy books, but apparently I did.
Mm-hmm.
Still haven't read it. Will I? I don't know. No, the Beverly Jenkins and the Duke Who Didn't, which is book 1 of a series. I didn't finish the series because I didn't have money to buy physical books. They've both been read. Look, okay, I'm really going to hurt some people's feelings when I say this. I am absolutely a person who typically breaks spines, dog ears pages, leaves a book like this.
You know she has read a book.
And yet, either these spines are really fucking hardy, or I was trying to be kind to them because you can tell they've been read, but they're in much better condition than usually my paperback books are. I love a paperback book because what I want to be able to do, I really don't care about this one. If I need to, I want to be able to crack it and do it, my books, when they're physical and I read them, they're abused in a way that they are fine with because my books are masochists, okay? Thank you. I won't tell anybody what they gotta do with their books. But I'm gonna consensually abuse mine, okay?
all y'all heathens dog earing books.
Taste, you want to know if people in the Discord randomly put you in group chats, would they be subject to timeouts asking for a friend? I mean, if you're into that kind of thing. But actually what I do is I go, oh my God, I'm in a group chat. Is there a way to politely decline? Can I remove myself with nobody noticing? Okay, I will just never speak in this group chat and maybe they'll forget I'm here. So I'm pretty sure you wouldn't get whatever it is you think you want, because I would just pretend I don't see it. But I would clear the notifications out every fucking day because I can't handle notifications being... I wouldn't engage. Okay. Oh, thanks, Palm Mom. Palm Mom 13 says, shout out and a thank you for your content. Been watching for 5 years. Dang, okay. Gonna have a coffee date with Daddy to discuss our DS dynamic because we watched your last video on consistency. Yay!
Cool.
That's the kind of thing I like to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, our whole thing is not, you don't need to do what we do, but God, go have a conversation about whatever it is we're talking about.
Yep. Yeah, you know, I keep looking at our bookshelves, and I keep thinking we need another bookshelf.
Oh, we absolutely do. So here's the thing. Okay, so I am both a bookworm. If anybody who happens to see what I finished from Kindle Unlimited is like, I finished. I go through them. I'm kind of voracious, but I apparently am also a book dragon. I hoard them. But I've been too broke to hoard books. But also, I'm that person who, if I buy the book, I don't know if I'm ever going to read it, but I do own it. So two things. One, when we were cleaning the house for my mother to get here, JB finally took a massive stack of books out of a Barnes and Noble bag that had been sitting two bags next to our bookshelves for a couple of years, maybe longer, because my book buying whatever lasted for a while and then it had to end abruptly. They finally got put up on shelves. They still have not been read. Now part of that was, and I could now, I just haven't read a physical book in a few years. For a while I could not read physical books, and then I finally started reading on my phone with the Kindle app because it'd be bright, blah blah blah. But when I originally started collecting books again, because it had been years, I hadn't had space for years and years and years, or money to buy books, but hadn't had space for a decade or longer. So I just hadn't, right? I've been doing the library or whatever. The plan was, my initial plan was all my smut and BDSM books and business books would live here. And then everything else that if my mother saw it, it wouldn't, who cared, was going to live out. It's not like that anymore. Partly because this bookshelf is being used for more than bookshelves. Okay. Which I think that just means we need another one of these. And then out there, same thing. We have a few shelves that aren't holding books, but they're like decorative, baskets that add like a little bit of color. So that we just need another thing. Yeah. But if I have more space, I'll want more books, and I can't really be buying physical books right now.
Well, we also discovered this wonderful used bookstore in town.
Yes, and they have their romance section is so the store is kind of narrow when you walk in. It's not crazy narrow, but it's long, right? And so there's this section that takes up. I'm going to do easy numbers to just kind of give scale. Mm-hmm. On one side of the wall, let's say there are 6 areas for different either genres or...
they're like cubbies.
Right, they're cubbies. Let's say there's 6. On one side of this store, 4 floor to ceiling, 3 little cubby things, all romance.
Yeah.
And I like how they've got it like segmented. You've got your paranormal, you've got your cowboy, you've got your contemporary, and then they even have a section where it's like they have dark romance, and then I think they had a section where it was like your smut. Like there's a little bit of plot and it's mostly sex. They got a whole little section of that too. There's some authors I really like that I've always read from the library. Never bought their books, the authors' books, because I was getting them from the library. But yeah, Yeah, and everything's like used, and so it's really
Mhm.
inexpensive to shop there.
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
when I was there, I was looking for a particular book. They didn't have it, but what impressed me with her, she pointed me to a website,
Yeah,
thriftbooks.com,
Mm-hmm.
and I fell in love
Yeah.
with that web.
So
That-
look, we fell in love with the store not just because they were super helpful, not just because
No.
they had, for me, all those fucking romance books.
Mhm.
But then you go up to the register to check out, and she had her cat there. Her cat,
Yeah.
was he elderly or was he sick? There was something. There was a sign.
Yeah.
That was like, please don't pet the cat. He's
Mhm.
fine. He's fine, but also
Yeah.
please don't pet him. And when we got up there, he was not in his little box to sit and like rest. He was up next to her by her keyboard
Yeah.
while she was trying to ring us up.
Yeah.
And I liked that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I want to go back. I want to try and put my get my Stephen King
Collection.
collection of the oh god, no, I can't think of it.
I know. I can't think of it. Gunslinger.
Gunslinger.
We also we were going to collect the Dune books,
Mm-hmm.
and we stopped buying new. We
Yeah.
stopped buying books.
Yeah.
And we could probably
Right. Fine. Mm-hmm. And I want to see what she has offer from another author that I read years ago, kind of got away from, and now got returned back. David Eddings.
Yeah, the only books I would not mind buying new, but I might find them used in this bookstore.
Yeah.
The Neon Gods series that Katie Roberts has been writing and publishing. I do not know which book they're on right now, but I think we have the first 4 books in the series. 3 of them I purchased and still haven't read. Maybe it's 2 of them. But I want to own that whole series. So, and I am perfectly fine with if some of my books are brand new and the others are used. I am a person who gets very annoyed if, let's say I happen to get all the hardbacks of a series. Why is one of the hardbacks bigger or smaller than the others? Why does it, like, why is that? I don't like that. Same with paperbacks. Sometimes you get like the little trade, like the teeny tiny little trade paperbacks, and then the next paperback in the series will be like a bigger one.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yep.
Oh. Okay. Thank you. Matthew has a question. How, as a big D, I see. I'm not quite sure what you were trying to say, but it's to be more consistent. Like, what would you add? What would you do? Clarify if we're getting that wrong. But
Or with AD, I think. Maybe
and with ADHD. See,
Yeah.
don't let me read it. Okay.
That's how I saw it.
I think you might be right. How is a big D with ADHD to be more consistent?
Now, I don't think I have.
No, I would not.
ADHD?
I would not clock you that way. No,
Okay.
but
But,
wanna.
You know, I do forget things because I get busy, and I use tools. That it was through Google Docs that we wrote our first DS contract.
Calendar, the family Google Calendar
Mhm.
with alerts
Yep.
to remember stuff.
The calendar is absolutely fantastic. You know, that when I did that with her at that time, you know, apps like Obedience and those things weren't
No,
around.
they weren't around. Yeah.
They weren't around. And you know, yeah, I used calendars, I use documents, I use reminders. So, you know, that's the one thing that keeps me going.
Yeah, if this might be a good time if you already have tools that you're using for other parts of your life to stay on track with things you need to do. Take meds, make appointments, like whatever you're doing to like live your life. that helps you remember things you might forget, or helps you stay focused, or get your focus back, or whatever, those things will be transferable. If you have not, at this point in your life, figured some of those things out in your this will be a great time to start figuring out what works for you. One thing that JB will do for himself, if he knows it's a thing he's going to forget or get sidetracked and not come back to, the task becomes mine to remind him. Baby girl, make sure I do blah, 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 right? So if part of your consistency is follow through, right? Acknowledging things that your partner has done or checking in with them, you can flip that and go, hey, your job is to come to me on Friday with the list of everything, you got done this week. And then that gives you the opportunity to see it right in front of your face and go, oh, and acknowledge it that way. So yeah, it's, if you don't have a set of coping skills and tools and things you're using to try and keep your life kind of together outside of kink, this might be a great time to figure out what those are. But if you are using things, apps, reminders, alerts, whatever, this just gets wrapped into all of that, I think. Yeah. Anybody else who is, thank you. Thank you, Silent. Any Dom who has ADHD and can share what you're doing, feel free in the live chat. What are words? I don't know.
And Silent, I'd be happy to compare Stephen King.
I think we have 2 books right now. 3 books?
Well, as far as physical copies,
yeah.
I have a huge
digital. Your digital book list is crazy.
Yes.
It's crazy. But yeah, right now I'm on a Kindle Unlimited kick. We don't love spending our money with Amazon any more than we have to. I mean, in some ways, sometimes you kind of don't have a fucking choice, but sometimes you, more often than we realized, you kind of do. But I figured I didn't feel bad about the Kindle Unlimited because the amount I read in a given month, basically they're losing money on me. Yeah.
Ain't that the truth?
If I had purchased the books that I'm able to, we'd be broke, and Amazon would have made more money with me doing Kindle Unlimited. So,
Lola came over for pets.
Oh, hello, Lola. She's just looking at him like he's the best human being she's ever met in her whole life, and everybody else can kiss her fucking ass, which, same. Yeah, that's the other thing I think about X is that there are most of the authors I read are indie authors. Mostly because it's mostly indie authors who are writing the shit I want to read. Give me why choose, and I need it to not be oh my god, none of the men's dicks can touch any of the other it's fine if there's a partner who's like, I don't swing that way, but
what, no sword fighting?
If everybody's like, oh no, his dick brushed the other dude's leg and we're all freaking out, I'm done with that book. What the fuck are we reading? Current series, only one of the men he's like, I tried. I don't think they use the word straight because it's an Edwardian era. The language is a little different. But basically he's like, I tried. That's not for me. And all the other guys were like, well, either I have tried and I know, or I haven't, but I'm curious. And that's always delightful. It's always delightful. So, yeah, I cannot decide if I'm reading because so my suspicion is that likely autistic and ADHD, I think, but no diagnosis, no money for a diagnosis, and our country's crazy. I don't know if I want an official diagnosis right now. But I think I am. So I'm never quite sure if something is leaning towards the autism side or the ADHD side. So is it a hyperfixation and I'll drop? Is it a special interest that I had to put down for several years because who had time to read when raising children, getting a divorce, changing careers, blah, blah, blah. Or am I dissociating and I'm just checking out of reality because I don't like reality right now. I don't know. But sometimes I do worry the sheer amount that I read right now because it's not hurting me. It's not hurting anybody else. It's not harming my relationships. But there is that part of me that's like, this can't be healthy. To do this much reading, this can't be healthy. This can't be healthy.
Christy, it actually touches
Gigi,
on...
I have that written down. I need to go back and add it to my list. Go ahead.
It actually goes into a few different of the universes with that because it refers to the walking man in that book.
Okay. See, I might read it once.
And I cannot remember which was
know.
the... Oh, jeez. This is the first thing that goes in memory. The book with the virus that he wrote. Silent can probably help me.
Yeah. Just got to give it a second for the delay to catch up.
Yep. And, because that character was also in that book. Was in several of the books, so...
The Stand.
Thank you.
Silent was the one.
Yep. So, but yeah, the walking man figured in that, and he was in the Eyes of the Dragon, and Gunslinger.
Okay.
Kind of like a little background flag. Yep. Yes.
The rest of us will just let y'all, because I'm glad somebody knows, because when you'll start talking about something, and if I don't have any reference for it, I just have to look at him blankly like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Because here's the thing. Even if the day comes when I read that, the moment I put that book down or that series down,
it's gone,
it's
right?
gone. It's gone.
Yeah.
I came across, in the recommended Kindle Unlimited, the app will give you like, here, we recommend these. I came across a series that sounded so good. I was like, oh my God, this is right up my alley. And I went, wait. Some part of this sounds familiar. And then the nice thing about Kindle Unlimited, it'll tell you the last time you borrowed the book. I had read it the year before. No memory of it. It was like new information to me.
Oh, goodness. I've done that a few times. Because I signed up to the book club list. Mm-hmm. And every Wednesday, I get the list of books. And a couple times now I've gone like, oh, that book seems really interesting. I want to read that. And I go, you got this about a year and a half ago?
There is one series that I thought it was a duology. I thought it was a complete series. That's been happening to me a lot lately.
Yeah.
And only the first two books. I cannot remember. It's the something of Bristlebrook. It's a future dystopian kind of thing. All of the men in this Why Choose situation are kinky as fuck. Book 3 comes out in June, I think. And I have enough vague memory of the series that, one, I'm very excited. I check the author's website frequently. Is this book coming? And I will reread that series, not because I've forgotten a lot of the details, but because I remember each book being so fucking good. And so, like, the kink is so good. Oh, okay. Rebecca Quinn. I cannot remember the name of the series, but but that happened 2 series in a row. I looked at it. It was 3 books, 4 books, 5 books, whatever. And not all authors will go back to like their book 1 and go completed series, right? So I don't expect that. I don't really think about reading the blurb for the last book in what appears to be a multi-book series to think, is there more coming? Got about 25% left of the last book, and I'm like, there's way too much going on. There's no way they're wrapping this up. No. and the last one, I can't remember the name of the series, but the author's name is J.S. Hart, I think. They don't have it posted anywhere of when the next book is coming out. So I don't even know. Very sad.
Yeah, you know, I was never really big into horror books either, but it was back in the early 90s maybe. I dove into reading both Dean Koontz
I read a lot of Dean Koontz
and Stephen King at that time. And I was just pretty much barreling through anything and everything they wrote at that up to that point in time. Dean Koontz I fell away from.
Yeah.
But, you know, King I kind of stuck with.
I don't know if this is actually true or if it was just a perception I had when I was reading Dean Koontz. I have vague memories because I can't remember plots of anything I've ever fucking read in my life. But I feel like it became formulaic. There was sort of details change. And that, for me, will turn me off. Not turn me off of an author. All authors have their ways of doing stuff. But I will have to take breaks. I can't read the same author for too long because once I find their patterns, then I already know what's happening in the book before we even get into it. And then I'm bored. And I don't like that.
Joe Hill? No, I haven't.
I've not heard that name. Yeah, I was pretty sure that was the case, which is why I'm like, yeah, Amazon loses money on me with the books I read. But it's I always feel kind of I don't know if I'm actually helping an author, but I hope I am, because if I start an author's series and I'm not mad about it by the end of the first book, or I don't DNF it in the middle, I'll read the whole fucking series. If you got 9 books in a series, I'm reading it all the way. You're going to get all my, thousandths of a penny or something. And I'm going through every fucking one. Yeah.
I don't have I'll be right back.
Oh, just a reminder for anybody who's like, yeah, okay, we're talking books. Okay. We can't answer your questions, too. We can be interrupted. So please, if you have a question, just make sure to tag us so it lights up. We're happy to do that. Who else? Oh, let me just go into my Kindle app. Oh, no. I'm on the last book of a series now that I wasn't sure how I felt about. It's the Wild...
You're fine, Lola. You're fine.
Wild Ward Academy book. I don't usually like reading Academy books where everybody's in fucking school, because typically everybody's so fucking young I can't relate. I'm like, I'm not... I don't like it. But this one's been okay. It's by Gwynnera Blythe, I think is their name. Yeah. I'm waiting for, what is the name of that series? Beasts of the Briar. For that next book to come out, but that author has a prequel coming, which I might read, but I really need I think it's book 6 or something, because I don't remember now what happened in the last book. I think that was book 5, but it ended in a cliffhanger. And I'll probably go back and reread that series, because that series was really good too. I enjoyed that series and was very sad. The last book ended on a cliffhanger. Yeah, J.S. Hart, the last book in their series was The Fearless Witch, and I was like, yes, this is good. And then it was like, oh, wait, there's another one? But I got no information on when that next one's coming. It's very annoying. I saw the Zodiac Academy series, and I actually heard mixed reviews, but I heard people who love it really love it. And then it stopped showing up in my recommended books, and I kept forgetting it existed. I would like for Kindle Unlimited to have more good kinky books. The thing is the one series by Rebecca Quinn, it's super fucking kinky, but I didn't find it because I searched BDSM or kink or whatever. It came up, I think it was while I was starting to read more Why Choose or something. And it's not necessarily marketed as kinky. So when I try and do a search for something kinky, I tend to get like the indie authors who have stuffed their title with 85 keywords. But then it's like, it's not a book I want to read, or maybe it's just not even in Kindle Unlimited, or it's not my thing at all, or the reviews are atrocious, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing that to myself. The good kinky books I've come across that aren't by like the big authors that, you know, most of us know about, or, you know, people will tell other people about who happen to be in Kindle Unlimited, I don't know it's kinky till I get in the middle of it. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay, this is good kink. You could have started there. I was trying to read some DDLG. There's an author who does have books in Kindle Unlimited. Problem is, and I know the people who like that that particular genre, and this author in particular, like, they really like those specific kind of stories, but I couldn't relate because it was all just, this Dom is my daddy, and this is how they take care of me, and I was like, I need, like, can he be a little mean to her, but in a sexy way? I need it to be, like, more multidimensional of kinks and preferences, and not just, like, just this story. And then that was an author who had a pattern. I cannot remember the name of the author. They were good books, but since it was just a little too far, like, not quite right, aligning with my kink preferences, I kind of got bored after all. I was like, no, I know how they're going to end. I know what activities they're going to do in the middle. It's like, no, that one's not for me, I guess. So. Yeah, most of the things I'm reading, not all, but many, Why Choose? Lots of witchy stuff. Lots of paranormal, but lots of specifically, like, witches, which I don't mind at all. I was in a monster smut kick, and so now there's a section of my recommended in Kindle Unlimited that's nothing but orcs and this and that. And, you know, when I'm in the mood for it, it's great, but I'm not usually in the mood for it. So it's like, I don't know. Anyway, we got about an hour. Pretty proud of us. Look at us. We have yet to talk about food. That's kind of weird. I thought that's like what we do here. It's not a kink podcast YouTube channel. No, we talk about food. I'm not actually even I'm not hungry. But do you know what I forgot to do? And you might have forgotten. I don't know if you planned it or not. I got some peanut butter M&Ms that I was supposed to eat tonight, and then I forgot they existed until right before we were about to stream, and I was not gonna chomp on peanut butter M&Ms into the microphone. Do you need me to do my tried and true burping method?
No.
I'm pretty sure somebody would be into it.
Yeah.
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 I think I would laugh so hard I peed on myself, and the hiccups would go away because you laughed so hard, but not because of anything I did. Bacon. We had BLTs for dinner
A couple nights ago.
a few nights ago. That was delicious. That was delicious. There was mention of bacon in one of the books I read. In the series I'm reading now, it was like a couple of books ago. They had bacon. It's like, I'm so happy for you. Yeah. Not a lot has happened. Astronaut Toad says, I'm less interested in reading books for their entertainment value and more learning new mindfuck methods and things. The dominant characters, any recommendations? I definitely don't.
No, I
even when I come across something kinky, it's never quite kinky on a level that's like
that's educational and
right and entertaining, but like you'd go, oh, that's a thought. If Ra was here, I would bet money that Ra's got some recommendations, because Ra reads a lot of like specifically kink authors, kinky books, the different, what are words? Those, yeah. But So, yeah, no, let me look at my shelf, because I have not read any specifically kinky books recently, but I might have something that I have.
And then we do have another question.
Okay, cool. Do you think the gore books would give some ideas? You read them, not me.
I mean, the gore books would give some ideas. One of the big things that came out of the gore books were the all the kneeling positions.
True.
But yeah, fiction-wise, I cannot think of anything.
Oh God, I forgot we read this book. I think we did a review episode video on it a million years ago. Do you remember this? By Christian Kennedy?
Yeah.
How do TVs work? Oh my God, y'all! How do cameras work? Nope. It's a whole universe where
You did good.
Oh, good. It's a universe where we've got a pleasure slave. The character can't say the name, so I'm not going to try. Their life soon hangs precariously amidst trials of pain, pleasure, rivalry, love, and duty. I remember that one being good.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask me what it's about, but I remember it being good.
And Taisha, yes, I agree with you. Gore is good, but yes, as you dig deeper into the series, it does get repetitive.
A lot of them are like that. Yeah. I don't know if this author still publishes books, but they had a ton of books back in the day. Cecilia Tan, this is the one we have. I remember it being really good. I don't usually like contemporary, but that was just really good. So Cecilia Tan is a good author to go look up. Yeah, that's what I got. Oh, nope, don't want to sit on the wood butter.
No, don't sit on the wood butter.
Nobody wants to sit on the wood butter. Okay.
Although it might be could be fun, it's all greasy.
Okay, so Victoria has a question. I've always wondered how you keep family and your kids out of the podcast room with all the BDSM stuff and keep them from seeing BDSM shirts and the wood shop. So, the shirts we change into them here in the office if a kid is home. Mm-hmm. We've taught our children, because they have an idea kind of what we do. The oldest has figured out more, but the oldest is 19, so whatever. If the office door is closed, we're recording, we're working, do not come in. And the kids have always been good about those boundaries. They, if I tell them, hey, don't come in here, my door's closed, whether it's our bedroom or it's the office, they just don't. They're not gonna ignore that. The wood shop. Well, the only child still living in the house is an indoor cat. That child's not going out to the garage or the shop unless we force them to, and we're not going to do that. But part of it is now that the youngest is 15, the oldest isn't even here anymore.
Almost 16 now.
So we don't really hide things. We don't talk about them. I don't I don't go into the kids' room with a stack of paddles and go, look what I made. It's just part of the background noise. We don't act like it's not happening. We don't leave paddles in the living room or anything. We keep it all contained to certain areas. But so we started the podcast in 2015. Mm-hmm. The youngest was about to turn 6 at the time. Holy shit, yeah. God. And at that time when we were doing things, that was at night. We recorded the podcast in our closet just for the acoustics.
Right.
But it was at night when the kids were asleep. They were deep sleepers, so they didn't clock anything. It wasn't until we bought this house that we even had a whole space that we could dedicate to any of this.
Right.
So, things were always hidden in our closets, but I taught the kids from a very young age that there were times you could come into our room, like in the middle of the night, you got a nightmare or whatever, but if the door is closed or if there's not a specific need, you should not just be wandering into our bedroom or whatever. And they always respected that. I don't know if it's because I got we got lucky with with their personalities, or if it was we were clear and good with boundaries, and I don't know, but I mean, we used to talk in code. If we had to talk about the podcast or the work we do in front of a kid, it was code. These days, we're so grateful that a child comes out of their room to be with us. We're not talking about work. We're going to talk about other things. And then that teenager will wander off into their corner and we will not see them again for hours. And so we are free to talk about whatever here in the office. And we're able to keep it separate.
Yeah. And also now he's at a point where he is into his gaming.
Oh, God, yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, he's got his headphones on.
And yeah, I know this is not true for every teenager ever, but we happen to have the kind of teenagers who really never cared what the adults are doing. No. If it didn't involve them, food, or money, they could give 2 shits what we're doing. So it works. It works. But when they were younger, we hid things. I had screen protectors so they couldn't just look at my screen, or I had even now I have my back to a wall. You cannot walk up behind me and see what's on my screen. Right. Lots of code. We forget sometimes. We'll be talking to y'all and we'll slip into our code. We do things to make sure that they are not, they probably are because they have ears and they can hear and their ears work, right? But like, we don't use our pseudonyms around them purposely.
No.
We don't say the name of the podcast where they can hear it. We refer to the Kinkery, kinkery.com, as the shop. We just, even now, that's just how we mostly do it.
And I don't just make kinky things.
That's true. And you don't just make kinky things, which is what, and I don't now, but I never just wrote sex things. So, if somebody asks what JB makes or what I write, with a certain amount of credibility, we can go pens and bowls, and I write about business. So, but
you know what I found out tonight?
What?
There is an oddities market.
What?
Here in Ocala.
I'm gonna need context. What the hell is that?
That's what I thought too.
Oh, okay.
You can, at an oddities market, you can find bones, art, and other oddities.
Can I get some examples of what those oddities might be?
Hang on. Give me a second. Yeah, it was kind of...
Because our logo for the Kinkery says peculiar oddities and BDSM playthings. So, my context for oddities,
okay.
It's a little skewed there. Silence says you have my attention. Not just, and what kind of bones? Whose are they, and what kind?
Come on, just take me to the site. Here we go.
Florida Oddities Markets. Okay, I see that.
Florida Oddities Markets, a haven for the odd, strange, and peculiar arts.
Okay,
Okay, hang on. I'm going to get...
Give me a picture.
The Florida Oddities Markets are a place to buy or sell bones, taxidermy, art, crystals, handcrafted items you wouldn't find anywhere else, and other fantastically weird amalgamations.
Are they speaking in fucking code because they just don't want to say kink toys and sex toys? Or do I have a dirty mind who's been working around kink toys and sex toys for too fucking... I need a picture. I need a name of some vendors. I need something that's too fucking vague.
Okay. And I can tell you somebody, but not now.
Okay.
Not here, not now.
Okay.
Think of it, it is held at the same place as the Saturday market.
Oh, okay.
Except it is at night.
Oh, cool. Okay. If it, if it wasn't hotter than the devil's fucking taint outside, I'd go to an evening market.
Right. Come on. There we go. There you go.
See, the thing is, I recognize, okay, bones and taxidermy and crystals. What I have found is in some places, those the vendors or the institutions that will allow those kinds of things will also allow kink. They'll allow sex. They'll allow things of an adult nature. And I'm sure in some places, and I would not be surprised if this place was one of them, where we live, they would not.
Yeah.
So I have
Now,
questions.
they also do one in Gainesville.
That would make sense. So look, I sometimes need shit spelled out very clearly for me. Is that little look you gave me meant to say, oh, the thing, your suspicion is correct at the one in Gainesville because it's college town? Okay, sometimes I just need you to say shit. I don't always know what I'm looking at. I don't know if you're trying to send me signals through brainwaves. I'm not getting them. Okay. I'm not getting them. No. If somebody out there thinks that a look, a wiggled eyebrow, and a wink will tell me something, I've missed it. I don't know what we're talking about. Nope. And sometimes I do know what we're talking about, but I don't trust myself to know. That's how I was. Did I really see something? Did I make it up? I don't know. I don't know.
Too funny.
Look, when it gets cooler, I would go to that. Just to walk around and to see for myself. Do I recognize some of these oddities? And would I be interested? Or would I be jealous because, wait, I want to be here and our stuff is good too? Or whatever. Whatever would go through my mind. I don't know. And that's a little bit like, Ren fairs. Clearly, Ren fairs are not specifically kinky, but kinky people go to Ren fairs and come away with gear. You know what I mean? God. So, I mean,
I haven't been to a Ren fair in years.
I was a kid last time I went to one. We have not looked, but Andre says, I'm guessing all the political stuff has made getting Purple Heart even harder. We haven't looked, but it probably will.
Have not looked, but already anticipating that. And any of the exotics, not just Purple Heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, been thinking about that as well. The black walnut, the cherry, the oak, maple.
Yeah, we should be able to keep our staple.
Right, those staples we definitely should be able to keep without a problem. But yeah, the exotics, that's going to be, because those are all imported. And
so they either will get imported, but they'll be more expensive. We don't quite know how much, or they will be imported less, and so then we'll just be harder to get.
Right. So yeah.
We're doing our best to not have to raise prices, because we don't raise prices very often anyway. Like we needed to get more Delrin for canes, and the price went up a little bit. It had already spiked like a year or so ago. We'd already adjusted prices accordingly, and went up a little bit. And we're like, this isn't painful. This will be okay.
The one thing I'm going to have to be careful of and keep an eye on are the tools. Because parts are going to come from, unfortunately China, because that's where all these things are made.
Right.
So there is that. The stuff I use for the pens, I haven't checked it recently. Those are either made in China or Taiwan. All right. I tend to try to buy the ones from Taiwan because they're a little better quality than the stuff that comes out of China.
Gotcha.
But last I heard, and I don't know if it's changed because it changes so much, there was like a 35 or 45% tariff from Taiwan. at one point. Who the hell knows anymore? But
Whew, okay. We were sitting here. I was like, okay. Many things went through my mind at once. They're all connected. But
here we go. We're going on a journey, folks.
no, I'm going to try and stay to the point.
Oh, okay.
Earlier, I talked to you, JB, that I needed to order supplies for wax play candles.
Yes.
I'm going to do that next week because I got to restock.
Mm-hmm.
And I had told myself, I've been telling myself for weeks, you need to go research and see if the prices are still the same or if they've already changed. Because some of them come from India, and I don't know where any others come from, but I know some of them come from India. Anyway, and then we're talking about it now, and I'm like, oh shit, I never did go look, and I intend to buy. They are still at the price I need them to be at, so okay. There are others that are more expensive, and they are more than they had been. I don't know where they come from, but they are more than they had been. But the ones I get are still the price they have been. So hopefully that's still true next week when I place an order.
And the other thing I have to look at, a lot of the sanding supplies I use come from Europe. So that's going to be another interesting thing to see what happens with a lot of that stuff.
Did you see what Astronaut Toad said? I'm old enough to remember high school wood shop when zebra wood and African padauk was easy to get.
Yeah, it was like scrap wood.
I'm a little insulted on behalf of those woods.
Right.
They're very beautiful woods. Oh, Lord. So the sisters, my mother and my aunt, are on opposite ends of the political spectrum.
Oh.
And the agreement we have to have for family gatherings is nobody talks about it because it will become it's bad. So, we somehow got into a conversation, not that I introduced that conversation or my mom or JB. We got into a conversation, a general conversation about tariffs. I think my uncle had asked her, are tariffs mustn't do anything for real, affecting you at all. And we were talking about how so far not yet because of we are not supplied directly from any place that will have a tariff on it. We're buying from other people who do source from those places, so we haven't seen an effect yet. We were talking about the uncertainty that it brings, not knowing, every time you need to buy supplies, will they be there and will they be a different price and whatever. And it's just there's a lot of uncertainty. And then I was saying things like, and I can see how it's affecting sales for us as well. If people are uncertain that they're going to be able to buy groceries, they are not usually worried about getting a new paddle, right?
Exactly.
So we were just generically talking about it. Many of us understood why the conversation had to occur and whose fault it was, but we weren't talking about that. My aunt was like, well, there's always uncertainty in business. And I was like, yeah, that's true. I can't guarantee from day to day that I'll make a sale, but it's never, in all the years we've been doing it, it's never been this kind of uncertainty. This is a different kind of uncertainty. The conversation was quickly dropped. It wasn't inherently like, we don't like your side.
No, it wasn't that kind of conversation, but it can very easily turn to that.
Yeah. And
because, unfortunately, Aunt is a very far-right conservative.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And believes a couple of, not political, but a couple of conspiracy theories that are like a little scary. Yeah. They're not political conspiracy theories, but they're definite conspiracy theories.
They've been dipping in the Kool-Aid.
That can impact their health, and we're all, like, the rest of us who don't think that way are like, oh my God, what's happening? So we just don't, if we get together at all, we just don't talk about it. And we don't get together very often, mostly for that reason, because we're so far apart on it. But
so, we just kind of leave it at that. And when her mom comes here, then we have conversations.
Yeah. My poor mother lives in an area where, in her mind, she is the only one who feels the way she does politically. It is a very, very, very deeply conservative area. And I always have to tell her, I'm like, I promise you're not the only one. Y'all just got to find one another. I've been sending her links for some of the rallies that have happened in her area, and I'm probably going to do the research and find her local Democrat Party, just so maybe she can like connect with people and she feels less alone. But she comes to our house, especially after having spent some time with her sister, and we just let her, like, we're all going, did you see that? Yeah, I read that article. Did you see this? Yeah, and we're going back and forth talking about it. The thing is, Silent asked, how can we not talk about it when we're together? Thankfully, and it's probably the only reason we have not had a major falling out in our family, and we can come together every so often, not often, but every so often. One, we all know where everybody stands on, like, there's not a confusion or like, everybody knows. So nobody has to explain their side. Nobody's convincing anybody. We already know that. Two, my aunt is basically the family historian. She loves to reminisce about what was clearly a better time for the family when it was less fraught. And we can spend a few hours together, and my aunt will bring up memories and stories, and we'll be laughing and joking over these shared memories. And we just kind of have to. And then sometimes we just eat our dinner and we don't have a lot to say. You know, we might talk about business, or we'll ask a kid, you know, how's school going, or whatever. But yeah, you know, there was a time, God, when I was younger, I saw my aunt all the time, like all the fucking time. I'd spend all kinds of time with her. We moved here, we spent a little bit of time together, and then we as a collective family had a big, I don't even remember exactly what it was about, but everything got heated over politics. And it was like, okay, we have to agree that we cannot talk about this, or we literally cannot be in the same room, because everybody gets very heated. And
you know what? If I ever start going down that road, drinking the Kool-Aid and getting cray-cray, just put me out the pasture.
I'm taking your phone. Okay, I'm taking your phone.
Put me
You
out
just
the
not
pasture.
have your phone. See, and the thing is the as you called it, the cray-cray happens on any side of the political spectrum.
Yeah.
I had to talk JB down from the things coming up in his FYP that were like conspiracy theorists. I'm like, that's not true. This is what happened, not this thing that you. And you know, after we could have conversations where I could pull out, hey, here's the AP article, and this is the fact of it. This thing that this random creator who's trying to make a buck said, that's exaggerated. That's hyperbole. That's not even rooted in truth. Thankfully, JB, you're the type of person who can admit, oh, maybe I've got something wrong. And then JB started like rethinking, who am I allowing in my feed and who am I listening to? And so, you know, because I was like, it's from my perspective, if somebody does not agree politically, whatever. But from my perspective, it's bad without it having to be exaggerated. The reality is bad enough. We don't have to make up shit to make it worse than it actually is.
Yeah, no.
So let's avoid conspiracy theories on this side of the political spectrum too. But so I've followed her on Instagram. I think you follow her now too. There is a creator I really like who talks about what's happening politically, called Amanda's Mild Takes. All one word, Amanda's Mild Takes. She is apparently, I don't know what her degree is in. I don't know like what she does professionally, but she has long had an interest in politics and history and whatever. And so she makes content responding to things that are happening in the news. So she does that, and then she'll actually do like little historical rundowns of like a president we had however many years ago, and here's the crazy shit they did and how it compares to like today and whatever. I really like her because she calls out people like she calls out bad behavior regardless of who's doing it. So there was that a congressman? Was it a House member or a senator? It must have been a House member who said something a Democrat who said something inflammatory, and then did the, hey, donate to the blah, 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 so he can fight this. And she was like, what that person just said is not even factually accurate. That they twisted it to make it seem like something it was, and she was pissed. And I was like, okay, I like you, because that kind of shit pisses me off, too. The reality is bad enough. We don't have to make shit up. Reality is bad enough. So, Anyway.
Yeah. Anywho.
But I had to bring down a room. No, I understand my reasoning. I think I understand my mother's reasoning. And I would even say I probably understand my aunt's reasoning about how we can be so polar opposite and how we're viewing the world these days and still come together a couple of times a year. It's because other than the people we have married, and thank God I gave birth to 2 others, the 3 of us are it. Like, there is no, parents, grandparents, cousins. Like, there's none of that when it comes to, like, the core, like, immediate family that, knew, like, they knew me when I was a kid. They knew each other when they were kids. Like, have that history. We're it. There's nowhere else to go. Everybody else is found family, or we married them. Like, that's all, like, that's it. And there's enough good memories that I think that nobody wants to give that up. And nobody wants to, like, say things that can't be unsaid, whether we think we're correct or we think they're incorrect, whatever. Like, if everybody was toxic to each other, if one person was genuinely toxic, I wouldn't be there. I'd be like, gotta go. I won't be around that. But we find other things that connect us. We don't, like, when things get brought up, I think it's why my aunt doesn't say a lot to me either about not even just specific politics, but, like, certain viewpoints. I've politely said, you are wrong and here's why, and I will not tolerate that. I didn't change her mind, but at least around me she's not saying some of the shit she was saying. So
yeah,
I don't know, it's all complicated. Like, I don't fault anybody who just can't even be around family members that they don't agree with politically. I don't no judgment on that. I get it. And I no judgment on people who go our route and go, yeah, we can be around you on a limited time basis under very specific parameters.
There's portions of my family I don't talk to because of their political.
And it's sad because we actually have a question sitting in our queue. I haven't asked you if you wanted to yet, and they did not go into specifics on if we could manage to answer this question without ranting. But their question is, do you think it's possible to have a power exchange with somebody that you are on a different side of the political spectrum than they are? And I was like, ooh, wow, that's complex and nuanced. I have thoughts. Y'all know I had thoughts, but we will have to be, like, in a good mental space to have that conversation.
Yeah. I think we need to talk a little more about that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's why I hadn't put it in your face going, hey, let's answer this.
No, thank you for that.
That'll be a strategy meeting.
Yeah.
Are we going to answer this question? How do we want to answer this question?
Yeah. But, no, I found a way to kind of vent all my frustration and all this. And that has been helping.
And we try to do what we can off the internet.
Yeah.
Like, under our legal names, like, who we are as voters, we try to do what we can. With our time and our resources, so.
Yep. But, yeah, I have not been out on the Can-Am very much.
No, you've been recovering from a mystery thing.
Yeah.
I meant to check in. How are you feeling today?
Good.
Okay.
A little worn out after doing the lawn.
Well, yeah, I figured you probably overexerted yourself.
No, I am feeling better.
Okay. There were several doctor's appointments for a while there.
Yeah, still a couple follow-ups now, too.
Yeah.
So, anywho.
And in what is not a shock to me at all, our actual primary care probably found the answer and gave you the fix.
I think so.
After being scared shitless for 3 weeks.
It's kind of looking that way.
Yeah. Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but haven't been out. Plus, I got to sneak out while I can because we're heading into the rainy season soon.
Yeah, and the rainy season sounds kind of nice, except what happens with the rainy season is while it's raining, if it's not lightning on every tree around us, it's nice while it's raining, but then right before and right after the rain, you can't breathe. The air is too thick.
Yeah.
There's too much humidity. So.
Yes, Silent, the possibly stomach thing.
Yep.
So, but I've been trying to work when I can, as I can.
Mm-hmm.
I've been just about at the point where I have been working a lot on getting the dust collection in the tiny shop better. I long ago outgrew the dust back cyclone or shop back cyclone.
I basically only picked up the big pieces after a while.
And
the whole shop was really dusty.
Mm-hmm. And working on getting that cleaner. And I think if I get this dialed in with the dust collection now the way it's heading, I may be able to put a small AC in there.
And that's a business expense.
Mm-hmm.
I will happily drive to wherever to get that. Because, the best time for us to try to restock and make sure we're ready for fall is the summer, but it's also the time that you can't work as many hours because it's too fucking hot. So. Oh, Andre. Andre says, when's the next time we can pay to see Kayla get her butt did? Asking for a friend. I don't know.
Maybe this summer. We'll have to see. Maybe over the summer. We can do something.
I don't mean like my physical energy, which is impacted. My mental energy has been just in weird places recently. Like I just don't even. I don't know.
We both have been in a way.
Yeah.
You know, there's been a lot going on.
There always is.
There always is. You know, we've got busy lives. But and it's not been bad stuff, but it's stuff that we have to keep abreast of.
Well, and then you and I have had conversations that will come out in the episode if we ever do the episode, but about how I think I said this at the very beginning.
You need to look at your screen.
I will, but if I look at it, I'll forget what I'm trying to say.
Nah.
Because that's how my mind works. I've been dealing with a lot of decision fatigue, and then poor JB, he'll be trying to check in on me. Are you doing okay? Is everything okay? And we'll finally have a conversation. I'm like, it's not your fault. It's probably me, but I can feel resentment creeping in for certain things. That it's not that there's something that JB's not doing or he's doing air quote incorrectly. It's something within me. My mental and emotional state has been just really weird. I just
as of within the last recent time, I just kind of put it down to the visit.
Yes, because I carry the emotional whatever for both the this would be sitting in a quiet corner trying not to cry, and I was like, why am I crying? And then I was like, oh yeah. And then also, can I blame perimenopause? I think I can. Not for the emotions I'm feeling, but for the extremes and how quickly they shift. And so I blame perimenopause for that. Okay, now I will look at what X said. Thank you, X.
Right.
Oh, thank you, Andre.
Thank you, Bob. Boy, they're lining up in advance.
I know. Yeah, if I can get my headspace right, I'm sure this summer we can.
Okay.
We do have to have the conversation, we meaning JB and myself, and then let y'all know about, are we going to shift our Wednesday stream time like we did last summer
Yeah.
for the summer when it's so fucking hot in here.
Right.
We were supposed to get the windows replaced in here, and that did not work out the way we thought.
No.
Because we don't trust our own state. For good reason. So we did not fix the problem, and it will be hot again in here.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
I could have sworn I saw somebody that I saw it, and I wanted to. It was Midnight Galaxy. Midnight Galaxy says, first time catching you guys live. My partner and I still giggle at how your mics line up with the bulletin boards and make an arrow.
Yeah.
Y'all, the first time somebody mentioned it to us that it had been mentioned was this year's summit. Was it Silent? You said something in the Discord about. Somebody did about how they saw the arrow, and how somebody who was watching the summit saw the arrow, and it got reported back to us, is what I'm trying to say. So then I went to one of our videos, and once I saw it, I could not unsee it. And I'm like, oh my God, we've had an arrow in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Not always, because sometimes our mics aren't in the right alignment, but more often than not. Didn't do it on purpose.
Oh.
It's fine. Oh, it was okay. Okay, Midnight Galaxy. I'm glad somebody saw it.
Right.
Because now, yeah, it's right up there.
See, I first in Discord. That was when I first.
That's the first time I saw it, and then I went to look, and
Okay.
yeah, no, that's right up there with when was it Silent? You pointed it out that JB's got a half and half color hair when he lets it grow out. Now it's all shaved off, so you can't hardly see it. Can you? Can you see it like this? Not at that angle. You got to go down. I can see it, but I know it's there. I don't think it's obvious until your hair grows out. So. Okay. See, we're coming full circle.
Right.
Thank you. You know, Astronaut Toad, the hardest part for me was being willing to talk about it and being willing to admit that it's happening and not put the blame on somebody else. Sometimes in some relationships, regardless of flavor, those feelings are building in part because of the actions of the other person. Absolutely. And there was a time I didn't talk about it with JB because I felt I had this whole I shouldn't feel that way. I'm not supposed to feel this way. What's wrong with me that I feel this way? And it was because in that instance, and even now, I knew JB hadn't done something. I knew JB was doing too much of something, or not doing too much of something, or not doing enough of something. It was something within me, but then I felt a sense of shame over it. Once I finally got kind of over that and was able to talk to him about it, now I can come to him earlier and go, there's nothing that I think you have done wrong here, but here's... And it's what, for me right now, it's because I'm not getting some of what I need, because I, like plenty of people, I push my needs to the side to take care of everybody else. And it is very easy for the people in your life who love you deeply to not realize what you're doing for them. And it's not a malicious thing. It's just it's being taken for granted in a way that's not harmful and toxic. Well, not toxic, but could still be harmful. And it's my responsibility to speak up and to say, hey, something's out of balance here. So, hence the conversations we've been having of and I had a deeper thought about it today too. Whereas I was like, okay, why do I want to do this, our next little air quote experiment where I don't make any decisions? It's because my baby girl side is the side that wants somebody to take care of her. I want somebody to take care of me. And I used to feel a lot of shame about that. Like, how many times have I said I was raised to be that independent woman that doesn't need no damn man, right? And there's a part of me that's like, I don't need any man, but I need my man. And the part of our dynamic that is currently most off kilter is the daddy dom baby girl side. Is where daddy takes care of baby girl and makes sure baby girl does what she's supposed to do. Why am I talking about myself in the third person? I don't know. And has what she needs, both in that spoily, like, indulgent way, which is my favorite way. But also in the, okay, you need to take care of yourself, and I'm going to make sure you take care of yourself. So it's, twofold, recognizing why I feel the way I feel, like what's going on, what am I not experiencing, having, doing, whatever, and then actually just saying something before it gets so bad that you're exploding and you're angry at a partner who would have fixed a problem if they knew there was a problem to fix, and but that comes with a deep sense of trust and safety. I know there's not a fucking thing I can say to JB that's going to make him stop loving me. He might look at me like I'm crazy, but I got used to that a few years ago, so it's fine. And most of the time when I don't say something to JB about how I'm feeling, it's not because of how JB would respond. It's about how I feel about how I'm, air quote, supposed to feel about things, and I'll hold myself back. Now, sometimes the relationship you might find yourself in is they're not the right person to, be that vulnerable with or to depend on in that way. And man, that sucks when you figure it out. But oh, absolutely. That dynamic is definitely teamwork. We have a whole episode on that too. I have been playing around with the idea. I think Tayshu kind of sparked the idea sometime last year, I think, about doing like sort of air quote classic episodes from our archive, because there's so many times we'll have a conversation. I'm like, but we talked about it this way in that episode, and we've got 440 some odd episodes. So
440. The next one will be 441.
Yeah. So thank you, Silent. I gotta put you on payroll, Silent. Right? I mean, not that I can afford to pay anybody, but if I could. You're welcome. Astronaut Toad, I'm glad we can help.
I'm glad it helps. Thank you.
I'm scrolling because I saw other Skunk Daddy. I forgot that's right. You're Skunk Daddy. So sometimes I feel really bad that I can't seem to hold thoughts in my brain for more than like a couple of seconds. But then when I'm reminded of shit that I find delightful, I get to have that like delight all over again, because it's almost like it's new information.
And she's scrolling.
Yeah, I thought I saw something that I wanted to, and then I...
Okay. Yeah, that happens.
Yeah. For episode 444, okay, you got like 3 or 4 weeks. You know how to DM me, X. Go ahead, let me know what you're thinking. I'm open to bribery, so it works. Look, I have spent my adult life getting myself to do shit that I really don't want to by bribing myself. And I then taught that to my children. And I don't know if that's good or bad, but it is how I get stuff done. Because there comes a point in your life, especially if like you didn't know you were submissive and you don't have a dom yet, or your dom is burnt out and depressed and can't like do the things they did, that you want to know how I get myself to do shit? Treats.
Yeah.
Either that or I procrastinate it until it's a really bad problem. Like the time I almost procrastinated telling the billing department that they were wrong. They had overcharged us for something that, and I procrastinated calling them so long they were about to send me to collections, and I was like, what am I doing? I got a treat after that phone call, though. I'm just saying.
Oh, goodness.
But look, y'all's generosity, we might actually get a payout from YouTube after 2 months instead of after 3 months.
Woohoo!
Almost every video we have, every long form video, almost every single one of those is demonetized. And we're about 50-50 on our shorter videos. Like half-ish of them get demonetized, so like not parts of pennies is what we earn.
Yeah.
And then some are fully monetized, but and I don't want to, let me be clear here, I'm not interested in tens of thousands of views. That's too many fucking people. But we don't, it's like, so yeah. I appreciate getting that payout a month early with your generosity. So,
Excuse me.
yeah, it was really hard to bribe myself when we were broke because there was no money for treats. There was no going to get a coffee or a Diet Coke. Look, I'm back to having the budget for the 79-cent Circle K Inner Circle Diet Coke. I need them to keep their fountain machines working properly.
Yeah, there's something. There's some kind of conspiracy theory with the fountains around here, soda fountains.
My preferred gas stations, did I wax poetic about how to find the best Diet Coke in Ocala to my aunt and uncle, and they looked at me like I was crazy? Sure. But I have a method, okay? But I think my preferred places to get a Diet Coke that aren't McDonald's, which has the better Diet Coke, but they're not running the good deals on their drinks right now, so no thank you. Anyway, I think I'm in the Bermuda Triangle of that, because there's a racetrack where I've earned enough points through the app that I get a free drink once a day, any size. But every time I walk in there, there's something wrong with their fountain. Today, the good ice wasn't working, so I had to get the crappy ice. But also, they have not calibrated their carbon and their Diet Coke syrup correctly. It's almost flat every time I drink it. The 7-Eleven is having good deals, and they always have the good ice, but they never calibrate their carbon to syrup ratio properly. The Circle K, sometimes I'll walk in there and every fucking drink thing, they have their Slurpee machine, their fountain machine, all of them are down. Or my favorite, the last time I went in there, I'm like, oh, like 80-cent fucking drink, and it'll be like bigger than my fucking head. So excited. The only part of the fountain machine that was broken was the one that had the Diet Coke in it. So pissed. So pissed.
Thwarted again.
Ooh. So. Anyway. Oh. I meant to wear it for tonight. I'm going to show it off. I'm not going to say the person's name because it looked like their like legal name. We got a gift through Amazon. I want the person who sent it to know I've got it, though. I was so happy. I just didn't put it in the fridge/freezer. Let me show you. And it's
it even comes in a case?
I know. And it's uncomplicated. I read the box. I went, okay.
Okay.
Let's see, can I get in? First of all, y'all know me. I love little treats and surprises, and it's very sweet that a person sent me this after I complained about being so fucking hot. It's a neck cooler thing. I just put it in, according to the instructions, I could put it in the freezer for like 30 minutes or the refrigerator for like an hour, and it's not supposed to like, it says there won't be condensation. We'll find out. I get hot enough to like melt icebergs or glaciers. But yeah, so if we have a stream in the future, it's actually kind of cool now. I haven't put it anywhere, and you just see me with this reverse fucking collar on. I can't put it this way. That'll make me feel choked. And it's not really supposed to go that way. It's supposed to go this way.
Won't stay on like that, most likely.
Oh, I probably could, but I would feel choked, and not in the good way. So I can't. I know they got it from Amazon because it came in an Amazon thing, and it was. If you are watching this, I did get it, and thank you. And the next time we stream, you will probably see it on my neck, because I will need it. Okay. Just put it to the side. Yeah. I see conversation. I'm just watching it. But Silent has it handled. I'm not needed for this conversation.
Nope. And I know me, sometimes I miss the channels because
They collapse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't always catch it. I'm like, oh my God, what happened?
Yeah,
Where'd
when
it
we
go?
reshuffled and reorganized Discord, I tried not to do anything that impacted roles unless you're a moderator, and now you can see shit you couldn't see before. I'm sorry, it clearly I saw the chat. It it clearly was shocking for a couple of folks. They know who they are. They're here talking. Anyway, whatever. But I tried not to do anything that impacted roles, but it's entirely possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's right. I did do that thing at I think it was X's suggestion. If your membership lapses, you can only see like a channel as a kind of a, oh, I can't see anything, I should figure out what's wrong. That was a great idea, by the way. Thank you, X. So, but when did I remember that I had done that? Even though I'm the one that did that? Just now, seeing X talk about it in live chat. You know, I used to be probably overly proud of my memory and my ability to recall details. That was hubris, and I'm paying for it now. Because I can't remember fucking shit.
Yeah.
Can't remember fucking shit. I thought I was done. I thought I could take the whole weekend off and I wouldn't have to touch my computer except to process orders. Love processing some orders.
But
I didn't schedule social media posts for the shop for tomorrow. I have the pictures taken. I just have to edit the pictures and schedule them. But I didn't put it on my to-do list for today. I had to put things on the list or I would have forgotten what I needed to do. And I didn't put it on the list, and guess what? It wasn't on the list, so therefore it didn't exist. So when did I remember it? When I was randomly peeing. Like, not randomly, like, just peeing wherever. I was in the bathroom, but I'm like, it's a random time of day. I just had to go to the bathroom, and I went, oh, fuck, I didn't do that. But it was not at a time where I could stop and do that. You know, Andre, I am spoiled. Silent Wing definitely spoils me. Definitely spoils me. You know, it's funny. Washing the dishes does not bother me. I don't know if it's because I've started to pair it with like watching a YouTube video, or it's just something about it just doesn't bother me to do dishes. Putting away the dishes, oh my God, I'd rather you poke me in the eye with a hot poker. I don't want to put away dishes. And yet sometimes in the name of fairness and equity in a relationship, it is my fucking turn to put them away. And I hate it so bad. Same with laundry. I don't mind putting them in the washer. I will forget to put them in the dryer. But JB hates folding. And I agreed that I hated it a little bit less than he hated it. So I would put the laundry away if he washed it. Because the hard part was I didn't want to do all of it. And JB didn't want to do all of it. It felt too overwhelming. We're a family of 3 at this point. We don't do the youngest laundry. It's literally just our laundry. We were like, this is too much. I dress like Adam Sandler every fucking day of my life. Sometimes the version of Adam Sandler that wears a bra, and sometimes not. It's not a lot of laundry. We were both like, it's too goddamn much. So we had to split it. And I still feel like something about putting away the laundry.
I wear actual clothes.
You were the only one of us. Look, I have what I call my mom pants. If I have to go do a mom thing, or I have to do a thing with my mom, those capris come out. Or if I have to go to the doctor, I'll wear the capris if I have to go to the doctor. Including when it's an appointment where I'll be taking my pants off, and they won't fucking care. Those are the pants. Those are the professional pants. Those are my business pants. My business capris. Yeah. You know, it's funny. For my whatever, I need my clothes to be folded and hung up properly. But I did absolutely encourage the kids to, yes, I think their clothes would be less wrinkledy and it'd be all less higgledy-piggledy if they would fold the fucking things. But if the way they can get it done and put away so it's not crazy messy in the room after they have washed their laundry is to just shove it in. I just go, you know what?
It's out of sight, out of mind.
A way is a way.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
maybe you'll change your mind in the future and do it a different way. Maybe you'll come across a partner who's like, no, I'll take this job. You do something else. I don't know. I don't know what your life will look like. But you won't have your clothes all over the fucking floor.
I had to, talk to the youngest at one point. You couldn't tell, he had the basket in his room overflowing, and he had clean mixed with dirty.
And he didn't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some tasks that I convince myself take so long, but I've also had to come to grips with the fact that I have no sense of how long something takes. I feel so foolish admitting this. I will procrastinate in the morning. I always have a big cup of water before I have my first cup of coffee. Mm-hmm. The internet said that was a good idea. I tried it. It didn't suck. It's what I do now. Okay, fine. My cup of water's the cup I'm holding right here. This is what I'm drinking out of almost 24/7. All I have to do is clean it out a little bit, and I'm rinsing it and moving on. Put ice in it, put water in it. I put a flavor addy thing in. Done. My brain thinks it takes 5 minutes. I timed myself. Ice and water to fill this thing up, 45 seconds. Squirt the little stuff in and zhuzh, that's another 15 seconds max. It's a minute, but my brain thinks it's 5 minutes. And so my brain goes, that's too long. That's too much time. I don't have time to do it. The only reason I don't procrastinate on your coffee, I legitimately forget your coffee sometimes, but I don't procrastinate on it, is because I'll get in trouble if I don't. But until I timed myself, I thought it took forever.
Wow.
I have no sense of how long anything takes. None. None.
It is after 11.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
But you made the mistake of saying something earlier that I did not repeat. And I'm just taking advantage of it. So now I need to get to a round-ish number. It needs to end with a 0 or a 5, but not 1105. And look, if anybody hears I say a round number and you're confused why 5 is included, you don't get it. But if you know, you know.
Right.
5 is a round number.
I'm looking at that 4 and you don't get much rounder than that.
No, 4 is pointy. What the fuck? It's an even number. It's easily divisible.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
4
See,
is
that's
pointy. You write your 4s. It's a pointy number.
And I took the round number as meaning an even number.
No, see, and technically a round number is one that ends in 0. Mostly, I think. It's been a long time since I'd had to do anything technical with numbers. But 5.
You mean like that 5?
But I said not that one. That wasn't enough time. Thank you, Silent. See, we can't do 4. It's bad luck. Can't do it.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Thank you, Silent, for saving him from himself. It's a point. 4 is a pointy number. 3 is part pointy, part round, but that's probably just how I write some of my 3s. 7 is way pointy. 7, I know, has significance to cultures and religions. 7's way pointy. 7's
so where does 6 fall in the?
It's an even number and it's semi-round, but it's not fully round. It's got too many. I don't know, but I don't know why 5 is round and 6 is not. But it is. It just is.
5's got that straight line, and 6 has.
But 5, you can when you can divide by 5, you can do almost fucking anything. I can count by 5 real fucking quick.
6 has all those curves.
No, 8 has all the curves.
Well, yeah.
8, on the numeric scale, I am not an 8, but on the shape scale, definitely an 8.
Silent, if it's the radio, it's 12.
He is. Now, he thinks he sets it to 12, but I have gotten in the car and had to turn it back down from a 19. Okay? And my hair's blasted back.
That's when nobody else is in the car except me.
And you were putting on a concert, yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I used to joke, and I could joke now because JB's lost weight. We are the number 10. One of us is quite round. One of us isn't. God, it got real random right at the end, didn't it? Yeah, no. I just, like, okay, I always prefer a number that ends in 0, and then second, a number that ends in 5. After that, even numbers. Absolutely.
And the TV, 28 for me.
I'm usually perfectly, if the captions are on, 27, 28 is perfectly fine. If for whatever reason we have forgotten to put the captions on, or even when the captions are on but we're eating, we only like eat at our TV once a week. It's not something we do regularly, just as, whatever. I need them to be louder because even though I can read the words, the chewing is too loud in my brain, and I need
I'm
the
with
TV
you on that.
volume
I'm
to
with
be
you on that.
louder, the chewing volume. If yes, it is, Kim. You're right. It is filler. If I'm in the car by myself and I'm not struggling with like hearing for whatever reason. 10. I want it at 10. 20 is only good if I either have the windows rolled down. It's like my absolute fucking jam, and I need to sing to it, but I don't want to hear myself sing because nobody wants to hear me sing. Then 20 might be acceptable. If it's Chapel Roan, like I'm playing my Spotify list, then it's how loud can I handle it? That's how loud we'll go.
There you go.
But
look at that. There's that 8.
I know. I mean, 8 is not a bad number. 8 is a comforting number. It's all the roundness. It's almost a snowman.
It's all around you.
But it's still not the preferred number.
Okay.
Oh God, yeah. I know there are people who love to do things by prime numbers, but I'd have to put way too much thought into it, because then I'd be thinking of a number going, can I divide anything by it? And now I'm doing math, and then I don't want to be there anymore. I think it's because 0s and 5s, yeah, you still have to do math, but man, to me that's way easy math. No. Thank you, Silent. Thank you. 8 is the snowman of numbers. Yes. I got distracted, but the thought in my head before I read that and before whatever I said before I read that was that an 8 is 2/3 of a snowman. I mean, if you think about it, snowmen are usually bloop, bloop, bloop.
Yeah.
And an 8 is bloop, bloop.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look.
I know, it's 10 after 11.
Yeah.
Y'all, I've stretched this man's patience all day. He's not gonna let me go to 11:15.
No.
So I'm gonna have to. We're gonna have to stop. Astronaut Toad, I agree. Silent, he's a snowman without a head or without a butt. Pick one, but he's missing something. 2/3 of a snowman is what an 8 is. Anyway, we're gonna go now. We will miss y'all next week when we're not streaming. But when we come back, we'll have a new kitchen floor. Yay! Okay. Thanks for being here with us. Thanks for getting chaotic with us. If we were just background noise for you, that's awesome. I fucking love that. We're happy to be that for you too. We'll talk to y'all later. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
The X 2-ball snowmen are valid.